As the story of Vic Mignogna and the allegations made against him by Monica Rial, Jamie Marchi, and Ron Toye continue, we finally have Vic's deposition on camera following the events of Vic Mignogna having to take Monica Rial and Ron Toye to court, to in which, following his termination and defamation online, we finally have the end result of what went down involving Vic Mignogna, Monica Rial, and Ron Toye in court, as once again the demonization of Vic Mignogna's character continues online, with many people having to point out the flaws in not only his deposition, but also trying to reach for whatever they can in grasping for straws in their attempts of trying to paint out Vic Mignogna in being a monster. As once more, before we begin, if you guys are new to this channel and have a love and passion for all things anime, movies, and comics content related, along with wanting to keep up to date with all latest involving Vic Mignogna, Monica Rial, Ron Toye, and many others, then be sure to go on ahead and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to never miss a single upload on this channel. Slap a big fat like down below by giving this video a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already done so, be sure to check out and subscribe to my main channel over at UnrealNetwork, where on there we're going to be covering lots of Dragon Ball, anime, and gaming related content outside of the content being posted here, so be sure to go on ahead and check that channel out. And lastly, be sure to head on over and follow me on Twitter at UnrealNetwork for all latest updates, including anything you would like to share with me or want to be featured on a future video. Then feel free to tag me and follow me on Twitter to stay connected at all times. As Vic Mignogna's deposition is now open to the public, it's very interesting how the Kick Vic side of things are trying to nitpick at every little thing being presented to Vic Mignogna in their attempts of making Vic Mignogna look a lot worse than how he was already portrayed by the Kick Vic group. Now, for starters, Ron Toye's deposition was put out before Vic Mignogna's, to in which lots of people had criticism behind Ron Toye's answers, as every single time Ty Beard would directly ask Ron Toye if he had defamed Vic Mignogna, if he had conversations with any outside third party involving Vic Mignogna, if he had reached out to any convention to try to pull Vic Mignogna away, mostly every single one of Ron Toye's answers was either I don't know or maybe, which is very problematic in this case considering the fact that he tried to lie, in which he did under oath, in mostly every single question having to be presented by Vic Mignogna's lawyer, which all the evidence can be found on Nick Rekieta's video, to in which Ron Toye, after his deposition, took it upon himself to go to Twitter, as an individual that goes by the name of Mike had asked Ron, how did you go about prepping someone to be deposed by Ty? As Ron Toye went along to post a GIF, one of the biggest Kick Vic supporters, Torres27, went along to respond by stating to Bird, I get to ask the questions, as Ron responds, trying to chase a point, find the logic trail, anything. Hypothetically, if today was Friday but refrigerators run on electricity and you don't recall 6 months ago, in addition to ice cream, the ocean, or pogo sticks, I need you to answer yes, no, or I don't know. Go. Which of course what Ron is doing here is trying to manipulate the situation in being very disingenuous and being very condescending in his approach, especially after 99% of Ron Toye's answers was either I don't know or maybe, which again, he's going as far as to lie under oath and having to be presented by his own tweets. Over 300 tweets being made by Ron Toye's Twitter handle, in which Ron even claimed that he was not even sure if that was his, defaming Vic Mignogna, demonizing the hashtag #IStandWithVic group, demonizing the fans, and demonizing Ty Beard himself, which of course, after being shown his own tweets, Ron, the little rat that he is, went along to lie in stating, well, I'm not sure if I made these comments or not, which again is complete BS, especially after discovery was made. However, we have new footage of Vic Mignogna's deposition by Nick Rekieta Part 2, in which further goes on to show us how condescending the lawyer deposing Vic was, especially with his approach and his questions, and having to be asked in a very condescending way. So let's go on ahead and take a look.
Is it an email you're familiar with?
Yes, sir.
And whose email is that?
Chuck Huber's.
All right. If you would, using the Bates label at the bottom, if you would turn to page 3 of Exhibit 12. First full email in the middle of the page.
Yes, sir.
Appears to be from Chuck Huber on March 6, 2019. And then it says, from Vic Mignogna, my name is Vic Mignogna and I'm a sex addict. Any idea why Mr. Huber would be emailing something like that to Monica Rial?
This is a very, very disingenuous line of questioning. And they put it in here for this because they wanted to put that email into this transcript. Very disingenuous. You want to know why I make fun of Jay Sean? Because he is misrepresenting blatantly, and he knows it, what happened here. But here we go.
You'd have to ask Mr. Huber.
All right, certainly nothing that you were authorized. You
No,
authorized
sir.
him to do.
He wrote this.
Have you ever seen this document before?
Yeah.
When?
I don't remember. He considers himself a friend of many of the parties involved, and apparently he wanted to try to see if he could help, and he crafted this. I didn't authorize any of it.
And so did he email it to you or just tell you about it?
I don't remember.
And do you have a policy of deleting emails the same as you do with regard to deleting texts?
Well, I get a lot of emails, sir.
Objection unresponsive. Do you have a policy of deleting emails the same as you do of deleting
Once
texts?
I read them, they go into an old mail folder, but I don't permanently delete them. No.
Okay, so if Mr. Huber sent you this email, it would be in some folder in
Yes,
the
sir. I
computer.
suppose so.
So notice how Lemoyne is trying to paint Vic out as a sex addict and trying to get him to admit to something that blatantly isn't true. Now, there have been some exchange between Vic Mignogna and Chuck Huber via email, and being that Vic Mignogna does not condone certain aspects of what Chuck had said, even going as far as to admit that yes, Chuck is friends with mutual parties in this deposition and litigation, he didn't go as far as to approve anything that Chuck had wrote, whereas Lemoyne is trying to go as far as to paint Vic out as some sort of a monstrous sex addict when in fact he's not. On top of that, I want you guys to go on ahead and check out this clip as the deposer went along to ask Vic Mignogna very condescendingly about his apology being made out to the public, in letting people know that if he had done anything to offend anybody via hugs, via kisses, via any sort of interaction, that he was genuinely sorry for doing that, as it wasn't his intention to make anybody feel uncomfortable in any given situation. And even going as far as to publicly state that after the events of Monica Rial making the public statements of Vic Mignogna apparently enough having to do said actions, Vic tried to reach out to her to figure out what exactly he had done to indirectly affect her. Check out the clip.
Shortly after Monica publicly stated that I had done something that upset or offended her in some way, I've been friends, at least I considered us friends for a very long time, and so I wrote Monica an email basically saying I am mortified if I've done something somewhere in the past to upset or offend you, but would you please tell me what it is, because I didn't know in what she was referring to in her tweets.
That's the only person you privately apologized to?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and so if I understand this correctly, Ms. Rial publicly made statements about you that reflected negatively upon you?
Yes, sir.
Did they describe why she felt negatively about you?
The first several, for the first bit of time, I can't tell you exactly how much time, were rather vague. And that was when I wrote her. As I said, we've been friends, my understanding, for 20 years.
Okay. The public apologies, what would those be?
I put out a tweet at some point that just basically said, I am extremely sorry for any certainly unintended offense or, anything that has hurt or offended anyone. Certainly never my intention. And I also apologized publicly at an event.
And who are you apologizing to?
Specifically?
Yeah.
Anyone who I inadvertently offended.
And what did you think you were apologizing for?
Inadvertently offending them.
Now I want you guys to bear in mind the way this lawyer is condescendingly asking these questions towards Vic Mignogna and trying to paint out this narrative that Vic Mignogna is specifically apologizing for a sexual act having to be conducted when in fact he went along to apologize to the fans for indirectly offending them if he had done so. But in the end, I want to start a conversation with you guys and getting your thoughts in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on the latest developments involving Vic Mignogna's deposition? What are your thoughts on the events going on right now with Ron Toye and Vic Mignogna? Which side are you on? But also, I do want to leave you with a very interesting clip by the end of this video, just so you guys can sit on what Vic Mignogna is about to say. Again, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to share this video on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you need to on any social media outlet. Follow me on Twitter, subscribe to this channel, and subscribe to my main channel, Unreal and Gaming. Again, thank you all so much for your time. Thank you all so much for watching. Tune back in for the next video, as I do want to go ahead and leave you all with a final clip from Vic Mignogna.
I think you're a pretty good judge of character of people.
Apparently not. I thought I was.
And when did you start to doubt your ability to judge people's character?
When people that I have known for many, many years who have treated me publicly, privately, to my face, in dozens of settings as friends, and then spent the last 5 months trying to ruin my career and reputation.